Sergio Oliva was born on July 4, 1941, in Guantanamo, Cuba, during the presidency of Fulgencio Batista. As a teenager, after only a year of training, Sergio was able to perform clean and jerks above 400 pounds. These feats caught the attention of the new government after the Cuban Revolution, who selected Sergio to represent Cuba at the upcoming 1962 Central America and Caribbean Games. During his time in Jamaica, representing Cuba at the Games, Oliva sneaked out of his quarters while the guards were distracted. He then ran at top speed until he was safely inside the American consulate. Arriving breathlessly, he demanded and received political asylum. Soon, 65 other Cuban nationals followed him, including Castro's entire weightlifting team and their security guards. Shortly afterward, Oliva was living in Miami, Florida, working as a TV repairman. Oliva then went on to win the Mr. Olympia title 3 years in a row, at 5 feet 10 inches and a contest weight of 245 pounds. Oliva's 1968 Mr. Olympia win was uncontested. In 1969, he won his third consecutive Mr. Olympia by beating a Mr. Europe, a Mr. International, and 4-time Mr. Universe winner Arnold Schwarzenegger. In his 1977 autobiography, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, Arnold tells of their first encounter. Then for the first time I saw Sergio Oliva in person. I understood why they called him the Myth. It was as jarring as if I'd walked into a wall. He destroyed me. He was so huge, he was so fantastic. There was no way I could even think of beating him. I admitted my defeat and felt some of my pumps go away. I tried. But I'd been so taken back by my first sight of Sergio Oliva that I think I settled for second place before we walked out on the stage. I never liked to admit defeat, but I thought Sergio was better. There were no two ways about it. 6. However, Schwarzenegger won his first Mr. Olympia title by edging the Myth the following year, with a score of 4-3. Oliva was banned from competing in the 1971 IFBB Mr. Olympia because he competed in the 1971 NABA Mr. Universe. This was extremely controversial because Schwarzenegger had competed for this very same contest the year before, and without Sergio to challenge Arnold, some felt that the contest was fixed. Schwarzenegger said, "I'd coasted to my second title as Mr. Olympia in Paris in 1971. The only possible challenger had been Sergio. Nobody else was in my league, and he'd been barred from the contest, along with others, because of a dispute between federations." 7. In 1972, under the high-intensity training HIT system of Arthur Jones, the designer of Nautilus training equipment, Oliva challenged Schwarzenegger for the 1972 Olympia in Essen, West Germany. By all accounts, Sergio was in his all-time greatest shape and completely confident he would regain the Mr. Olympia title. Arnold beat Sergio into second place and was crowned Mr. Olympia yet again. He said, "In Essen, it seemed like all the top bodybuilders turned up at their very best except for me. Sergio was back, even more impressive than I remembered. Compared with all of the other bodybuilders I've ever faced, Sergio really was in a class by himself. I was struck by that again the minute we were on stage. It was so hard to look impressive next to him with those incredible thighs, that impossibly tiny waist, those incredible triceps." Now, in 1985, at the age of 44, Oliva returned for an attempt at the famed Mr. Olympia title one last time. He could manage just an 8th place finish, the same as the year before. Robert Kennedy, the publisher of the magazine Muscle Mag International, wrote, "Anyone who loves the sport of bodybuilding knows the name of Sergio Oliva, known as the Myth. I greatly admired him and consider him to be the all-time world's greatest physique. I saw him in competition many times, including his shows against Arnold. There is no doubt that with his wide shoulders and narrow hip structure, he was superior to any other bodybuilder of his generation. Sergio was not only the most aesthetic bodybuilder on stage, but also the biggest. Sergio Oliva is considered by most to be the world's most genetically gifted bodybuilder. He set a whole new standard for competitive bodybuilding. Loved by millions, revered by many, and feared by some. He was so huge and extremely proportioned that he used to bring chills to his adversaries. This is how he acquired the name of the Myth. Oliva served the city of Chicago as a police officer from 1976 to 2003. 11. In 1986, Sergio survived being shot by his then-wife, Arlene Garrett. He sustained 5 bullet wounds to his abdomen from a .38 special. 12. His son, Sergio Oliva Jr., is an IFBB pro bodybuilder who won the 2015 NPC Nationals bodybuilding competition and has since competed on Mr. Olympia, Arnold Classic, and New York Pro stages. Oliva's introduction to bodybuilding came in the most unlikely of circumstances. While serving in the Cuban military, he caught the attention of the country's national weightlifting coach, who recognized his exceptional physique. Under the coach's guidance, Oliva began training as a bodybuilder, honing his skills and sculpting his body into a work of art. Rise to prominence. Oliva's rise to prominence in the bodybuilding world was meteoric. After defecting from Cuba in 1962, he arrived in the United States with little more than his dreams and determination. Settling in Chicago, he wasted no time in making a name for himself on the bodybuilding circuit. His unmatched combination of size, symmetry, and conditioning quickly set him apart from his competitors, earning him a string of victories in prestigious competitions. Dominance on the stage. Throughout the 1960s and early 1970s, Oliva dominated the bodybuilding scene with an iron grip. His physique was a sight to behold, massive, yet perfectly proportioned, with muscles that seemed to defy logic. He became known for his trademark pose, the most muscular, which showcased his incredible muscularity and definition. With each competition, Oliva raised the bar higher, setting new standards of excellence in the sport. The Olympia rivalry, one of the defining chapters of Oliva's career, was his legendary rivalry with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The two titans clashed on stage in a series of epic battles at the Mr. Olympia competition, each pushing the other to new heights of greatness. Their duels captivated audiences and elevated bodybuilding to unprecedented levels of popularity. While Schwarzenegger ultimately emerged as the victor, Oliva's legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats was firmly cemented. Beyond bodybuilding, despite his unparalleled success in bodybuilding, Oliva's life was not without its share of challenges. He faced personal struggles and setbacks, including legal troubles and health issues. However, through it all, he remained resilient, drawing strength from his unwavering passion for the sport. In his later years, Oliva continued to inspire others through his coaching and mentorship, passing on his knowledge and wisdom to the next generation of bodybuilders. Legacy and impact. Sergio Oliva may have passed away in 2012, but his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of bodybuilding enthusiasts around the world. He transcended the sport, becoming a symbol of determination, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. His influence can be seen in every bodybuilder who strives to reach their full potential, pushing the boundaries of what is possible with the human body. Conclusion. In the annals of bodybuilding history, few names shine as brightly as Sergio Oliva. From his humble beginnings in Cuba to his reign as one of the sport's most iconic figures, his journey is a testament to the power of passion, dedication, and sheer willpower. As we reflect on his life and legacy, let us remember Sergio Oliva, not only as a champion bodybuilder, but as a true legend whose spirit will continue to inspire generations to come. What set Oliva apart from other bodybuilders of his era was not just his physical attributes, but also his training intensity and mental fortitude. He approached his workouts with unparalleled focus and dedication, pushing his body to its limits to achieve perfection. His commitment to his craft inspired generations of aspiring bodybuilders and cemented his legacy as a true icon of the sport. Beyond his competitive success, Oliva also made significant contributions to the popularization of bodybuilding as a mainstream sport. He appeared in numerous magazines, television programs, and films, helping to elevate the profile of bodybuilding and attract a wider audience to the sport. Despite retiring from competitive bodybuilding in the 1970s, Oliva remained active in the fitness community, serving as a coach, mentor, and ambassador for the sport. He continued to inspire countless individuals with his incredible story of perseverance and success against the odds. Tragically, Sergio Oliva passed away on November 12, 2012, at the age of 71. His death marked the end of an era in bodybuilding, but his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of fans around the world. Sergio Oliva will always be remembered as a true legend of the sport, a man whose impact transcended the boundaries of bodybuilding and whose spirit continues to inspire generations to pursue their dreams relentlessly.